Hello children and a very warm welcome to all of you. In today's video, we'll take up Science 2 lesson number 2, Life Process Part 1. In the lower classes, you already have learned various systems of our body such as digestion, excretion, respiration, circulation and how they are important for us to sustain life. A proper coordination is required among all these systems so that we remain fit and fine. In today's video, we learn about a very important life process called as nutrition and respiration. Nutrition is the process of intake of food. We eat food basically not to just saturate our hunger just because we are feeling hungry and we eat it, but the main purpose of eating food is to burn the food to give us energy. Okay. Now, when we eat food, basically we eat a carbohydrate rich food. Along with that, we also intake proteins and fat in our daily diet. These are called as macronutrients. At the same time, we also intake micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals through the vegetables and fruit which we eat. Of course, at the same time, we need to have adequate amount of water, because if there is less amount of water in our cell, all the systems which we have discussed earlier will not be functioning smoothly. So it is very important for us to have a balanced diet, okay, when we talk about nutrition. When we intake food, and when we talk about carbohydrate breaks down into molecules of glucose. Each gram of carbohydrate and protein gives us 4 kilocalories of energy, and each gram of lipids gives us 9 kilocalories of energy. Okay. In case of the body is having very less amount of carbohydrate, then proteins and fats will burn down to give us energy. So in this way, all the three nutrients work in coordination so that our energy supply doesn't stop and we sustain life. In this video, we'll throw more light on respiratory system, because respiration is a very big phenomena. It's a very big process. Okay, it is an energy releasing process, and for this we'll just revise quickly our human respiratory system, which you all very well know about. So I'll just go through it quickly, and then we will learn in detail the various stages of respiration and the different types of respiration. Respiration occurs at two levels: body level and the cellular level. Quickly revise the respiratory system. It begins with the nose, mouth, larynx or the voice box, trachea, also called as the windpipe, the lungs, we have a pair of lungs in our body, bronchi, which is branching of the trachea. Bronchi further terminates into alveoli, which are balloon-like structures which fills up the entire lungs. The alveoli are supplied with the blood capillaries. So when we breathe in the air, the oxygen from the air enters into the alveoli and then enters into the blood vessels, and through the blood vessels it reaches every cell of our body and burns the food which we have eaten to give us energy. So this is the passage which our air takes when we breathe, and ultimately we have the last part, that is the diaphragm. The diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. In today's video, we will learn in detail about cellular respiration and its types. Cellular respiration is of two types: aerobic and the anaerobic respiration. In the aerobic respiration, the burning of food occurs in the presence of oxygen and more amount of energy is released. But in the case of anaerobic respiration, the burning of food occurs in the absence of oxygen and lesser amount of energy is released. Let's learn in detail the mechanism of aerobic respiration. It occurs in three stages: glycolysis, TCA cycle and the electron transfer chain. Understand in detail the entire process of glycolysis, which is also called as the EMP pathway. The process of glycolysis was discovered by three scientists, Gustav Amidon, Otto Meyerhof and Jakob Parnas, along with their colleagues, and therefore it is also known as the EMP pathway in short. The process of glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm. A molecule of glucose is oxidized step by step in this process, and two molecules of each, that is pyruvic acid, ATP and NADH2 and water, are formed. Molecules of pyruvic acid formed in this process are converted into molecules of acetyl coenzyme A. Two molecules of NADH2 and two molecules of CO2 are released during this process. The second step of the aerobic respiration is the TCA cycle, or the tricarboxylic acid cycle. The cyclical reactions of the TCA cycle were discovered by Sir Hans Krebs. Hence, this process is also known as the Krebs cycle. Both molecules of acetyl coenzyme A, which were formed in the glycolysis step, enter the mitochondria. Cyclic chain of reactions called as tricarboxylic acid cycle is operated on it in the mitochondria. The acetyl part of acetyl coenzyme A is completely oxidized through the cyclical process, and molecules of carbon dioxide, water, and the two coenzymes NADH2 and FADH2 are derived in this process. The third and the last step of the aerobic respiration is the electron transfer chain reaction, which occurs in the mitochondria. Molecules of NADH2 and FADH2, which were formed during the above process, takes part in the electron transfer chain reaction. Due to this reaction, 3 molecules of ATP are obtained from each NADH2 molecule and 2 molecules of ATP are obtained from each FADH2 molecule. ATP molecules are the energy currency of the cell. The full form is adenosine triphosphate. Besides ATP, water molecules are also formed in this reaction. So in 3 stages, the process of aerobic respiration gets completed and a molecule of glucose is completely oxidized to give molecules of carbon dioxide and water along with the generation of energy in the form of ATP molecules. Children, let us go through a flowchart and revise the topic which we have learned today. As per the flowchart, you will find that the 3 nutrients, lipids, carbohydrates and proteins break down to give us energy. If the body has less amount of carbohydrates, then lipids and proteins, even they break down to give us energy. The main nutrient, that is carbohydrate, in the form of glucose, undergoes glycolysis to give us pyruvic acid. The pyruvic acid formed converts into acetyl coenzyme A, which enters into the Krebs cycle or the TCA cycle, and through the electron transfer chain gives us carbon dioxide, water and energy. Now if the body has got scarcity of carbohydrate, then lipids and proteins break down to give us energy. Lipids convert into fatty acids and directly it converts into acetyl coenzyme A, enters the Krebs cycle and gives us energy. If it is protein, then proteins break down to give amino acid, which converts into acetyl coenzyme A, enters the Krebs cycle and gives us energy. On this earth, there are some organisms such as bacteria who cannot survive in the presence of oxygen. They carry out anaerobic respiration, that is without oxygen. They burn the food without oxygen. Of course, the amount of energy given out is very less in comparison to aerobic respiration, because the food here is not completely utilized, it's not but completely burned down to give energy. There are 2 steps of this respiration. The first step is glycolysis, which is common to the aerobic respiration, and the second step is called as fermentation. So now let us quickly look at the flow chart for this topic. Let us look at the flow chart for anaerobic respiration. Here glucose converts into pyruvic acid through glycolysis. So glycolysis is common in both the aerobic as well as anaerobic respiration. The pyruvic acid formed undergoes fermentation to give products like vinegar, vitamins with the help of microorganisms. In the other pathway, pyruvic acid undergoes fermentation to give alcohol with the help of yeast. This is called as alcoholic fermentation. In the next pathway, pyruvic acid undergoes fermentation to produce lactic acid, and this phenomena occurs in our muscle cells when we do a lot of laborious work. Our muscle cells carry out anaerobic respiration, due to which lactic acid is formed and we feel tired. This fermentation is also called as lactic acid fermentation. So children, in today's video we have learned about respiration, the different stages of respiration and the various types of respiration. I hope you have understood the topic very well, but at the same time you have to read your textbook very nicely, and at the end of the video I have attached assignment questions which you need to go through, and you need to solve that. For that you have to read textbook very nicely, and in the next video we'll take up the second topic of the lesson. Thank you.